Hello guys, today I'm gonna be covering some crazy suicide bombs Japanese military used in World War II. And as a solo creator, your subscription, membership, and super thanks help me create better contents. In the early 1940s, Japan's attempt to conquer the Pacific region was soon shattered by US forces. This was quickly followed by a shortage of resources and supplies for the Japanese Empire. Japan was about to lose the war. So the heads of the military came up with one last crazy idea, creating all kinds of suicide bombs to push off US military attacks. Number 1. Shinyo. Known as the Ocean Shaker, Shinyo was a small motorboat operated by a single soldier, which carried the heavy explosives in its bow, and its single job was rammed directly into large enemy vessels, hoping for one giant bang for the buck. Well, in this case, bang for the yen. However, due to its extra weight, the boat was slow, and most boats were destroyed before reaching their targets. Also, the unbalanced weight in the front made it super unstable to steer. Number 2. Kaiten. Loaded and carried on its mothership, Kaiten was a small submarine that looked like a torpedo and worked like a torpedo, except it was guided by a human. Once launched with its 1.5-ton warhead, Kaiten charged directly under enemy ships, causing a massive explosion. But Kaiten was extremely difficult to operate because it was literally just a simple torpedo forcefully rebuilt to hold a pilot. Plus, when operated for too long, the machinery would give off toxic gases. And if the warhead failed to go off, with no way to turn back, the pilot just had to sink with Kaiten into the deep ocean. Number 3. Fukuryu. Crouching Dragon in translation, Fukuryu was an example of how desperate the Japanese Empire was. Soldiers were given diving suits and stick bombs with an order to target incoming landing crafts. In this way, the High Command thought they could at least slow down a US landing on Japanese mainland. But in reality, murky seafloor limited their vision, so they could hardly see anything. Ships were just way too fast for them, and their poorly made oxygen tanks gave off toxic gases, burning their airways. Number 4. Lunge Mine. These suicide bombs were distributed to those who were brave enough to charge into enemy fire and sacrifice themselves. Heavy vehicles such as tanks were main targets for these lunge mines, and theoretically, the explosion could pierce through heavy plates and immobilize them. But again, in reality, no matter how brave and resolute those soldiers were, there was no way they could outrun bullets from a machine gun mounted on a tank. And due to a shortage of resources and time, production of lunge mines ceased. So they made a hook bomb as a replacement. Soldiers were ordered to charge at the front of the tank, hook a bomb onto the gun barrel, and detonate it. Number 5. Kamikaze. Perhaps the most famous one, Kamikaze, the god of the wind, was a suicide plane loaded with explosives. In this one-way death trip, Japanese pilots had to dodge and fly through a barrage of fire from anti-air guns before they crashed into enemy ships. And the sacrifice was somewhat effective. During the war, Kamikaze attacks sank around 47 and damaged 300 ships, at the cost of 3,800 pilots and planes. Number 6. Oka. Oka was a one-man bomb-shaped aircraft carried on a mothership, and when its target was neared, it was detached from the mothership and glided its way down with a rocket engine. Once successfully launched, it was nearly unstoppable due to its speed and weight, and its 1.2-ton warhead was able to blow up a destroyer. So, was Oka bomb effective? Nope. The problem was the slow speed of the mothership. Because of Oka's heavy weight, the mothership became an easy target for US fighters, so most of them were just shot down before they reached the target. And US soldiers became so sick of these Oka suicide attacks that they later called them baka bombs, meaning idiot bombs.